In the 1980s, a kid from a working-class neighborhood in Queens decided he was going to be filthy rich. His name was Jordan Belfort, and that single obsession would eventually cost thousands of American families their life savings. His first plan was dentistry, but on day one of dental school, the dean stood up and told the freshman class that they were in the wrong place if they wanted to make real money. Jordan stood up, nodded his head, and walked straight out the door. Next, he tried selling frozen steaks and seafood door to door, running a chaotic operation right out of the backseat of his car. That first business venture ended in total bankruptcy. But sitting in the wreckage of that business, he realized something incredibly dangerous. The underlying product simply didn't matter. If you knew how to talk and how to manipulate the person listening, you could sell absolutely anything. He took that realization straight to Wall Street, landing an entry-level gig at L.F. Rothschild just in time to watch the financial system buckle. Black Monday hit in 1987. The market crashed, and Jordan was out of a job before his career in traditional finance even started. Instead of giving up, he stumbled into the dark underbelly of the market, penny stocks. These were unregulated, high-risk shares traded on the pink sheets. No serious broker touched them, but they paid a massive 50% commission to whoever was willing to push them over the phone. Jordan realized he didn't need a skyscraper in Manhattan to get rich. He teamed up with a fast-talking hustler named Danny Porish and opened a firm in a Long Island strip mall. They called it Stratton Oakmont, a name deliberately chosen to sound like a century-old institution with mahogany desks, masking the reality of a dingy room with flickering lights. He didn't hire experienced financial analysts. He hired bartenders and high school dropouts, people who were hungry and didn't ask questions. Then he trained them using a system he invented called straight-line persuasion. It was a psychological pressure cooker designed to bulldoze a prospect's hesitation and guide them in one unbroken line from a simple hello to handing over a check. He engineered an environment where aggressive psychological manipulation entirely replaced financial expertise, setting a perfect trap for unsuspecting investors. Stratton Oakmont specifically avoided wealthy investors. They targeted working-class retirees and desperate parents who had been entirely ignored by the financial elites, selling them hope wrapped in extreme urgency. This chart illustrates the pump and dump. Stratton quietly bought massive blocks of worthless stock for pennies. Then came the pump. Brokers manufactured fake excitement, artificially spiking the price. At the peak, they sold everything. The stock collapsed, leaving families holding the bag. The entire operation functioned as a mathematically guaranteed transfer of wealth from average American families directly into that Long Island strip mall. By the early 1990s, the office devolved into a carnival of absolute depravity fueled by the incoming cash. We are talking screaming phones, $2,000 suits, and heavy narcotics snorted off compliance manuals. But generating millions of stolen dollars creates an immediate logistical crisis. The firm grew increasingly paranoid as they scrambled for ways to hide that mountain of cash from federal regulators. They resorted to physical methods to launder the funds into offshore Swiss accounts. At one point, Jordan even had a housekeeper smuggle cash-stuffed envelopes sewn directly into her bra just to get past customs. The sheer volume of their fraudulent success became too massive to conceal. That weight was the exact thing that would inevitably crack their criminal shield. FBI agent Gregory Coleman eventually started sniffing around the operation. He meticulously pieced together the fraud, linking their cold call scripts to massive, unexplainable cashier's check withdrawals being blared through casinos. At the exact same time, Jordan's personal life completely unraveled. High on drugs and his own arrogance, he ignored his captain's direct warnings and sailed his luxury yacht into a Mediterranean storm, literally sinking the vessel. The fatal blow came when Jordan defied explicit orders from regulators and wired $2 million straight to Switzerland. The FBI easily traced and recorded the transaction, giving them undeniable proof. The mastermind, who spent years selling false certainty to thousands of victims, ultimately fell prey to his own delusions of invincibility. When federal agents finally raided Stratton Oakmont in 1996, the man who demanded cult-like loyalty from his brokers did exactly what a con artist does. He wore a wire and flipped on 30 of his own employees and friends just to save his own skin. While his young recruits went to real federal prison, Jordan received a 22-month sentence in a minimum security facility. He spent his days lifting weights and playing tennis, eventually meeting comedian Tommy Chong, who convinced him to write a book about his crimes. Belfort transformed his crimes into a best-selling memoir and a Hollywood blockbuster. He is now a wealthy motivational speaker and a pop culture icon, while the victims who lost their life savings never saw a single cent of restitution. If a stranger ever calls you promising a guaranteed return on a secret stock, do yourself a favor and just hang up the phone. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge shout out to all of you supporting Irony Economics.